Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to Skol Nation Vikings Daily, your go-to source for news on the Minnesota Vikings. Today, we have some crucial updates that every Vikings fan has been waiting for. We'll be diving into the latest on our star tight end, TJ Hawkinson, and what it means for the team's strategy as we approach the season opener. But before we get into the details, there's an intriguing situation unfolding that could shape our early games. Stay with us, as there's a lot to unpack here. Now let's start with the big question on everyone's mind. What's the status of TJ Hawkinson? After suffering a torn ACL last December, fans have been eager to see when he'll be back on the field. Head coach Kevin O'Connell provided an update on August 2nd, and while there are positive signs, the situation is still quite complex. O'Connell mentioned seeing Hawkinson working hard on the side field, making it tempting to push for his return. But, as the coach wisely noted, caution is key. He said, "Every time I see him working on the side field, it becomes awfully tempting to corner trainer Tyler Williams somewhere in the building and demand answers on when we'll be able to start implementing him, maybe off the PUP list, and get him a little bit of work." This snippet of insight hints at potential progress, yet there's a careful balancing act in play. Now, the most pressing issue: will Hawkinson be ready for Week 1 against the New York Giants? O'Connell's words paint a realistic picture. While Hawkinson is ahead of the expected recovery timeline, there's still a long road ahead. He expressed, "Where he's at, albeit very well ahead of maybe where some of the medical folks thought he would be, there is an injury there that a timeline exists, and we're going to try to stay true to that, while also giving him opportunities to maybe shrink that timeline a little bit." This statement leaves us with a bit of uncertainty, but also hope. While it's clear that O'Connell isn't rushing the process, there's always that lingering chance of an early return. But before we get too excited, remember that ACL injuries can be unpredictable, and the priority is Hawkinson's long-term health. O'Connell emphasized not even allowing himself to think about whether Hawkinson will be ready for Week 1, instead focusing on the player's daily progress. As we edge closer to the season opener, another layer to this story emerges: the tight end depth situation. Just recently, Robert Tonyan, another key player signed during free agency, was carted off the field due to back spasms during training camp. With Hawkinson's status still in question, the responsibility at tight end could fall heavily on Johnny Munt, Josh Oliver, and Nick Muse. This depth challenge raises the stakes for the coaching staff, who must navigate this tricky terrain. So, Vikings fans, what do you think? How do you feel about Hawkinson's recovery process? And do you believe our tight end core can hold up if he's not ready for Week 1? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below with your predictions and concerns. As we wrap up today's update, remember that this season is all about resilience and strategy. Coach O'Connell and the team are making cautious yet calculated moves to ensure a strong start. It's going to be a fascinating journey, and we're here to cover every moment for you. Don't forget to subscribe to Skol Nation Vikings Daily for all the latest news and updates. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, go Vikings!